Welcome to the last section of our lesson, and this is the writing section. So in this screencast, I will provide a guide for you to complete this lesson, and I will also give an example of what you should write to complete the task. So let us start. In this writing section page, you see that there is a form here entitled Writing an Email to a Friend. So here you are basically asked to read a story, and then you have to retell the story to your friend through an email. However, you are not really required to make an email, as we have provided you with the template. If you scroll down the reading passage, you will see the answer sheet that is made to resemble an email. To means that to whom you want to send your email, and this is the subject of your email, and this is actually the content. Hi, I have something interesting to share. I just read a myth titled, and here you can type the title of the myth. And let me summarize the story, and this is actually the main course of the writing section. You have to summarize the story that you just read. However, before you start summarizing your story, I really suggest that you go to the evaluation for writing page. So in this page, you will see some points that you should pay attention when you summarize the story. Your summary has to be clear, it has to convey the main idea of the original story. It has to include only the important part, not to detail. Of course, when you want to retell the story, don't go over to detail. And your story has to be in order based on the original story. It has to be coherent, and don't forget to use connectors appropriately. And because the story happened in the past, don't forget to use past tense and pay attention to your grammar, punctuation, spelling, and always use your own words. So after you write your summary, you can self-assess yourself whether or not you have fulfilled this criteria. So let us back to the writing page. Now I will give an example of what you should write in the writing form. So for this example, I use the story that you have read previously in the reading section, The King of Sharks, and I believe that you are already know what the story is all about. So let us just move to the answer sheet. I want to tell the story to my friend, let's say Danny, and his email address is just danny@gmail.com. The subject, I want to say, Hi Danny, want to hear an interesting story? And the title of the story is The King of Sharks. And for the summary, I have actually prepared the summary, so I will just copy paste it. And as you can see, the summary is definitely shorter than the original story. And for this screencast, I will read the first paragraph as an example. So here we go. Once upon a time, the king of sharks transformed himself into a human to marry a beautiful girl that he loved. The king of sharks would swim in the pool near their house for very long, and told his wife that he was making a place at the bottom of the pool for their son. When Anape was born, he had a mark on his back that looked like the shape of a shark mouth. Then she realized who her husband had been. Nanave's father had ordered his wife to make sure that Nanave always wore the feathered cape that he left before he returned to his people. So this is the example, and as you can see that the summary is actually the miniature of the original story, and this is actually more brief than the original story. So let us just move to the last part of the letter. I hope that you like the story like I do. Regards, and here you can just write your name. For example, Josh, and then submit. And you can actually see the responses from other people if you want to compare it with yours. Just click it here. It's okay if it appears like this, just open this content in a new window. So in this page you can actually see the responses from other people. However, so far all of them are the ones that I made, so I'm kind of actually testing this function. And this is the one that I just made earlier, Danny@gmail.com, and this is subject, Hi Danny, want to hear an interesting story? So here you can actually compare the summary that you made with other people's, and this is actually very good to improve your writing. You can learn from other people's mistakes, and you can also learn from what is good from them. So that's basically it. This is the end of the guide, and I really hope that the guide is useful for you to complete the task in the writing section. Good luck!